Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Toy T, and I'm doing a short video outside of my house. I know I look um, tired and it looks like I'm squinting because the sun's in my eyes. But anyway, I was going to make a short video about why I decided to become a Lyft driver. One of my viewers asked me this question, and I thought that I would respond by making a video. I was actually thinking about it today too, so here it is. Well, when I first found out about Lyft, I was just looking for side jobs, so I just pretty much Googled side jobs, and Lyft was one of the first things to pop up on that list of side jobs that Google thought were appropriate for my search. I also happened to run across an article in Wired magazine from this year about economies of trust and all of these new different companies that are based off of people doing services for other people directly. So things like ride sharing, which includes Sidecar, Lyft, and Uber. TaskRabbit, which used to be a bidding system for doing personal tasks for people. So you're pretty much doing you're a personal assistant for someone, pretty much. Also, things like I want to call it Open Table, but it's not called that. It's another thing where people can come to your house and you can charge them per plate to come eat at your house. And there's also one where you can rent out your car too, which hasn't reached. I don't know if it's reached outside of San Francisco yet, but there were a couple of things, and I thought it was really cool what they had talked about a Lyft driver's experiences in the magazine. And I, after reading about it, I was like, well, it sounds like it. I could try it out and make some money off of it. There really wasn't a real decision about whether or not to join Lyft or Uber. It's just that Lyft was the first thing I found. And I also thought about becoming an Uber driver also, since I got a promo code or a referral code from one of my viewers. But seeing that the summer's already coming down to an end, and also Lyft has changed their system, their commission system, to, before they weren't taking out fees, and now they're taking out fees out of their drivers' commissions. And in order for you to get some of that money back, you have to drive more. So the more you drive, the higher the percentage of your commission you get back, or higher the bonus you get at the end of the week. So if you drive 15 hours, you get a 5% bonus, all up until 50 hours, where you'll get a 20% bonus at the end of the week. So they're trying to encourage people to drive more, and I wouldn't have time to do both Lyft and Uber at the same time. And I was looking at the Uber application, and I don't know if my car would actually pass the inspection, because it seems like they want newer cars, and my car, I think, was right below the limit. I think they were looking for 2005s and newer, and my car is a 2004. So just based off of that, I just thought that maybe it wouldn't be a good idea for me to look. But I have no problems with any of the other companies. It's not a competition. I think there's enough work out there for everybody. I actually have a friend that from high school that is a Uber driver in North Carolina, and she shares some of her stories. She just became an Uber driver recently and has been sharing some of her stories driving at night as an Uber driver in North Carolina. And she has a full-time job, so it works for her that she works at night. And since I am still working part-time and the school year is about to start, because I think I've said it several times that I teach at a local college, so since the school year is about to be coming up soon, and I didn't quite get a full-time job like I wanted to this summer, it seems like I will be cutting down. I'll be most likely cutting down my hours on Lyft, but on the days that I have free, which is mostly Mondays and Wednesdays and the weekends, I probably will try to drive on those days. And then depending on how the school year goes, I might try to drive on the days that I teach. But most of the time after I teach, I'm exhausted. It takes a lot of energy out of me. Plus, there's prep time that I have to also add into there, so it doesn't really work. But to answer this viewer's question, I'm sorry I can't remember what your username is. This was a comment from Google Plus. There was no real reason why I picked Lyft over Uber. If you want to become a Uber driver, and you want to ask me questions, I'm more than happy to, or to direct you to people that do Uber driving. And maybe if I get a new car or something, I might try to do Uber, or if I move to another city, where Uber is a little bit more popular, I would try to become an Uber driver. But I think just in general, the ride sharing companies are doing a great job of giving people opportunities to have a different kind of full-time job or part-time job. The hours are very flexible. You're pretty much working for yourself and running your own business. So you set your own hours and set your own driving schedule and driving route. So it's a really good way to make money and to meet different people in your city and to get to know your city. For me, I think that the benefits have been that I've met a lot of very interesting people in the city that I never would have met. I think I've said this before. And also, since I only recently, well, recently being 3 years ago that I moved back to the Boston area, which I'm from, it's helped me get to know the city a lot better, especially since now I don't live, looking at the background of me, I don't live in the city right now, so I know the suburbs a little bit better now than I do parts of the city, because parts of the city I only know as a walker because I was a teenager when I lived in Boston before I moved. And so being able to drive Lyft has given me an opportunity to get to know parts of Boston and Cambridge and other places right outside of Boston a lot better. I understand some of the routes and the places better because I end up going to the same places, a lot of hot spots that they call that are prime areas where you pick up a lot of people. So some of the areas around like Boston University, around Harvard, around MIT, I'm a lot more familiar with now, and the airport. I'm more familiar about how to get to the airport from different directions. I'm more familiar with that now because of the fact that I've been driving Lyft in the morning, and most of the time I'm just driving people to work or to the airport. And sometimes if I drive on the weekends, I'm driving them to bars in the downtown area or the Fenway area, or driving them to Fenway Park, which I'm still getting to understand some of the ways to get there, because sometimes the routes are kind of confusing to me. So I hope that answers your question. I was trying to keep this short, so I already hit 7 minutes, so I'm going to get off now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Share, like, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with anybody who's interested in becoming a Lyft driver or a ride-sharing driver. I will leave my code below. If you want to try out Lyft as a passenger, I'll also leave my code where you get $25 on your first ride. And if you become a Lyft driver and you live in the Boston area, and use my referral code, you'll get $250, and I'll get $250 after your first 20 rides within 30 days. So if you have any questions, again, let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.